Welcome everyone. This is Evelyn. This is a twin flame read. We have a union read, which is the 4D, 5D, 6D read, and the twin flame read for both the divine masculine and divine feminine. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. Hope you're having an amazing day. So first I'm going to show you the pictures. This is the first read. This is the union read. 4D is the lower level. Here, let me get my little pointer over here. This is the 4D, 5D, 6D. The left column is the feminine, the right column is the masculine. The center column here is the bridge between. Here's the incoming divine feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energy here, and then the closing energy here. Okay. And then we have the read for the twin flames. Here's the read for the twin flames. This is the SIRIAN Starseed deck, for those of you not familiar with it. Sorry about the lighting is a little bright there. And then the full read in front of you is the 7 deck clarification of that read. Okay, there's a few cards at the top as well. And so here we go. I have my my 3-towered crystal for you as well, my quartz, and this is hanging out right in front of you guys. Okay, let's focus that in again. Okay, so lots of energies have been creeping up. Hopefully I remember all the energies that came up besides the reads. We have the union read, excuse me, at 327. 3 is the Empress, 27 is the Ace of Wands, and this was done late yesterday. The union read for the 4D, 5D, 6D. The 8 of Cups was the underlying energy. The World was at the center of the read, and the 4 of Pentacles was the closing card, which in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, is the divine masculine, their heart in the bat cave. All right, for me, the 7 of crystals is the masculine, the 4 of crystals is the masculine, the 7 of crystals is the divine feminine in the E tower. Both of their hearts represented there. And it's crystals, but I always say pentacles just because it's easier for you to associate which element we're talking about. So in this 40, 50, 60 read, walking away and within, ascending with the world in the right hand, the divine masculine side, into the divine masculine's heart in the bat cave. So we're going to the divine masculine side, into his heart. The incoming divine feminine is transition, which is literally walking through a portal. The King of Wands, which is a shaman in this deck, and then the Starseed. The transition portal with the King of Wands shaman, and he's very much that 70s show. He's very earthy, and the stripes that I would see in my kitchen in the 70s, he's very much the 70s energy of the shaman. The King of Wands shaman in death and rebirth, as the energy of the transition portal, the King of Wands and the Starseed, is the death and rebirth of Jesus, the shaman. The transition portal with the King of Wands shaman in death and rebirth, as Easter and Jesus come up, the 4th is Easter, and a big download to the crown, a gift. Death of a salesman, birth of a starseed, 40 days, 40 nights, and around the world in 80 days. Big download or upgrade comes from the divine feminine's 5D self, surrendering. And in the 4D here is the Ace of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Swords. There's something I wanted to remember to tell you before I forget. And this will come up in the twin flame read. After I put the twin flame read out on the table, I checked my email, and there was a message from one of my viewers who brought the attention to my attention the information about the Evergreen ship and the Alice, that the big drill machines for the underground tunnels is called an Alice. And actually, when I did the twin flame read, the word Alice came up again. So, and she brought that up to me because Evergreen and Alice come up in my reads all the time. as well as ships. That was a major download that was coming in a few months back about ships coming in and what are they actually carrying in their carloads or in their cargo. So that word Alice comes up again in the Twin Flame read today. So the 4D here is the Ace of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Swords. The Divine Feminine with an outpouring of love, and the Aqua light. The Aqua light is the Mother Mary light. The Divine Masculine resting on break in deep thought, and that's been coming up over and over and over in the energy deck as well. Needing and meditating in the 5D connection. Sitting in salt water perhaps. Stormy clouds overhead. Bridging by the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or that dream family that is proud with crystal alignment, peacock, and the garden of prayer. The 5D energies are the 2 of Pentacles, Ascension, and the Hanging Man. The Divine Feminine with the Divine Masculine surrender to the 6D Mary Magdalene cave, or asking her to come down a level from the E Tower to work with some crystals with him. The Divine Masculine Hanging Man working on the right knee block, right, the anger of the Jesus block, having to do with the torture, correct, okay? The anger residuals from that, and learning to allow and not struggle with a new perspective. Bridging by the world, the completion, the ascension, the Middle East with astral projection. Surrendering by land and sea, hanging out in the air and experiencing fire. Bridging in the astral travels around the world, which is very interesting because I just watched a Sam the Illusionist video that talked about the 8 steps of the first density, and he listed in that 8 steps the order that the elements came in, and actually wind was first, not fire. It was wind, and then fire, and then cups, and then pentacles. So the same order as the tarot, except that air would be first. That I found very interesting. So the 60 here is the 5 Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and Reflection, the Hermit. The Divine Feminine Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave with the broken crystals and the light, apart from the lower vibrational group. The Divine Masculine Hermit with the light on the basement ground level, creating their own light, and bridging with the Queen of Pentacles on the main level. So it's the masculine with the light, like holding the light for others on the ground, like the basement ground level, and the feminine being up in the E Tower, and then both meeting in the middle on the main level. She in cold ice, he on cold ground at the basement. The Queen of Pentacles gold coin evaporating from pride by her lotus pond. The Divine Feminine coming out with love. Bursting upward, surrendering up, leveling up to the Mary Magdalene cave. The Divine Masculine resting and hanging out to see the light. The bridge here is the 10 of Pentacles with the 4D family, business, or community, the 5D world, and the 6D Queen of Pentacles without a need for money. The outgoing Divine Masculine of Karma, the 5 of Wands, I think it was, and the 7 of Swords. The plasma fire coming up here, the lotus expansion, passing downloads, causing conflict, or ping pong balls on fire, 2 men watching. This was very interesting to me, right? Because it was the energy of the ping pong ball on fire comes up from my own experience, but it was the energy around plasma and how hot it is, the causing conflict of the downloads coming in, looking like ping pong balls or orbs, right, which they're supposed to be, but they look like ping pong balls being passed while 2 men are watching. And the ping pong balls on fire has to do when I think, I don't know, I was in junior high school, I think, and my brothers dared me to touch the ping pong ball to the red stovetop. I didn't know what was going to happen, and my parents weren't home, so my brothers were messing with me. And so I touched the ping pong ball to the red hot stovetop. It wasn't a flame, it was the electric oven or stovetop. And so as soon as I touched it, it exploded. And I threw it up in the air, and thank God it landed in the pan where my brother was cooking his hamburger. But it was literally a fire about 3 feet tall at least, with no parents around. So, you know, of course I would never forget that. My brothers couldn't believe I actually did it. You know, your brothers dare you to do something, you have to do it to show them up, right? And I was very young at the time. So it was that energy of explosion of the ping pong ball that was coming up right there. Explosive heat. So something else that came up. Oh, true. Something else from Sam the Illusionist. He was talking about the plasma corridor. So a lot about plasma has been coming up. And the crafts, the grays, he was talking about the grays in this one video about their crafts being underwater and using this anti-plasma vacuum technology around their ships. So, because the plasma is very hot, using it as protection. So they have to protect their ships with a double layer of anti-plasma vacuum technology, which I might have brought up yesterday. But another word that came up was boring. So as opposed to feeling bored, you know, and apathetic, the machines that dig the tunnels are called boring machines. So whenever that comes up, there may be a reference to that as well. And again, the Alice machines. So that's definitely coming up today. Yeah. And the message that was sent to me was about Jennifer Psaki, Biden's press secretary, who's the organizer and governor of the board of directors for the Evergreen Consulting Group, which had the ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal. Again, thought to be carrying those boring machines, the Alice, or God knows what was on the ship. I don't know if they ever ended up taking anything off the ship. So going on with this union read, at 359, which is the Empress and the 59 of the Five of Swords, the Divine Masculine hiding away in the Batcave, the crown opening in a wake-up call, causing conflict, receiving downloads, perhaps with people watching. Camping out was coming up, as well as the hot air balloon, or that explosive energy of heating up air with plasma TV or plasma telepathy, and the crystal room here. And there may be a way to use that explosive energy. Yeah. So again, there's that energy too of the bridging energy of my union read, but also the Suez Canal, right? It's between Egypt and I guess Jordan and Israel are on the other side, but it's well in Egypt, but obviously all the countries use it there. So the number that came up from this read is 46, which is the Six of Cups, the children in the garden loving each other, the inner children, the outer children, having fond memories of the past. The horizontal pillars came up to 17, 2, and 27, which is the Star, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Wands, that new passion, that ignition of the flame, again, that explosive energy. The Star, High Priestess, or secret with new passion, with the Six of Cups, children, the inner children loving each other, soulmates, twins, children, however that comes up for you. The vertical pillars came up as 8, 8, which is the dance of the twins, the crazy eights, the 10, 4, 5, and 11. The crazy eights destined to grieve injustice as the Emperor and the Hierophant, dealing with justice and or divorce, inner or outer children loving each other here. So the second read is the twin flame read that's in front of you. That's the SIRIAN STARSEED deck as well. That was cut and dealt at 411, which is the Emperor and Justice. Justice being truth and balance. And then the Alices came up at 434. And that's the Emperor and the Eight of Wands, that energetic back and forth. You know, shipping and receiving comes up there. And the Alices. Alices being the boring machines, the tunneling machines. I finished clarifying this read at 448, which is written that way, 44/8, which is interesting because 440 just came up with a bill that I just paid as well when I had a filter put on the house, by the way, so it filters all of my water. 4 is the Emperor, 48 is the Eight of Cups, walking away and within. The major arcana for this read were Shadow, the Tower, and the Shadow is the Devil, Ascension, which is the World, Reflection, which is the Hermit, and before the read, the Lovers and Guidance came up. Guidance is the Hierophant in this deck. After the read, the Great Wheel or the Wheel of Fortune came up, and then we had 4 cups, 2 wands, and 1 sword. There were no pentacles in this read, not in the main deck. The Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Cups came up as the main characters, and before the read was the Page of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles, the Sovereign, and after the read, the Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands came up. So this was in one of the astrological reads too, the 12 signs read. By the way, Capricorn was very much about the Jesus and Mary Magdalene energy. So if you're a twin flame, you might want to watch that. It's 338 on my clock, which is a very significant number to me. It's also 33 of the Christ vibration, 38 of the Queen of Cups, the Mary Magdalene energy. So you might want to watch Capricorn. And then there was another one I did yesterday that had, what energy was that? It just slipped through my mind. Oh, 3 queens. I don't know if it was Aquarius. It might have been. But there were 3 queens reversed in that read at the end of the read for one of those astrological reads. And I'm bringing that up because there's 3 queens here. I think 2 out of the 3 of them were reversed. Queen of Cups was upright in this read. Let's see here. Well, we'll see as I go through the read. Queen of Swords is upright. And I'm not catching the other 2 right now, but I'll find them in the read. So, the Queen of Wands is reversed. Was the Queen, I'm thinking the Queen of Pentacles was upright too. Where are you? Yeah. Actually, 3 of the queens. The only queen that's reversed is the Queen of Wands here. And the 3 queens that came up at the end were the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Wands, all in the same grouping. The Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands were together at the end. So that was similar to one of the astrological reads. All right, so we had 4 cups, 2 wands, and 1 sword. There were double 2s, double 4s in the read, so that most significant, the 44, but also the 22 of the Fool. 44 is the 4 of Cups, grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, especially receiving it. We also had 421, which can be the Emperor in the World, or the 42 and the 1, which is the 2 of Cups and the Magician. We had 45 of the 5 of Cups, which is the center card of the read, actually. 7 of the Chariot, 24 of the Queen of Wands, who was the only queen reversed. 57 of the 3 of Swords. The 79 is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And then 910, which is 0 behind 91, or 910, begin again and again and again. It's also the reflection of the sun, which reflects the central sun for me. Okay, so the code line was all about following your dreams, but it was broken up because some of the letters were covered, and it was coming out, instead of follow your dreams, it was coming up, allow our dreams. Okay, because there's always 2 of you, not thinking for 1. It's like having a baby inside of you. You're doing everything in your life for 2. The code line here was all about the number 5, which is the Hierophant, but also expansion, freedom, and change. And following your dreams, allowing our dreams. The translation was coming up here regarding Sophia, has been coming up a lot in the headers. Sophia being key in the show of power of the divine feminine, right? The high vibrational divine feminine to the nth degree, regarding that 5 of Cups and the grief, the loss, the regret, the guilt, the past, and the sap, right? Someone who's considered a sap. But that also means the vital essence of life. It means life. The old man off balance, or one eye, was also coming up. So you can imagine, if you can only see out of one eye or only have good vision in one eye, you're going to have a skewed perspective and you're going to be off balance. You might lose your balance, literally. So that was also coming up here. The double zeros was coming up, which, by the way, is a symbol for Omega, 2 zeros. It's also the 2 zeros of the googly eyes, but one was being crossed out like off balance. So there may be one eye not working right, or focusing on the masculine or the feminine. Actually, when they came out, if the eyes were looking at me, it would be the left eye that has the line through it. But it's off balance. So the left being off balance. The masculine, though, has no line at all, which means it is the human embodiment of source, but it doesn't have the balance of the pi or the expansion of the phi in it. And the feminine side has the line, it has the expansion and contraction, but it's off to the left a little bit. So we have the Omega energies. Also, what came up under the 00 or the 00 is a breed of Hawaiian birds, 4 of them, who are honey eaters, but are now believed to be extinct. Also, a lot about the ewe people, which is the feminine sheep or the female sheep as opposed to the ram. So a lot about lambs coming up here as well, as wool came up, and fluff. And oneness, of course, comes up a lot with these definitions. So Saint Nick is also coming up to the nth degree. So you may know a Nicholas, who's being a saint, or regarding Christmas. And again, we have Easter coming up, regarding the madman, the fool, the drunk, or maybe that's the way people saw Jesus in his day. Expanding the tower moments with the ewe people, or the lamb, the silence of the lamb, the suffering in silence, the female sheep. Or maybe they're just off right now, or one-eyed, only seeing through one eye right now. The path of envy, jealousy, hostilities coming up, and hatred, or someone's niece who's like this, regarding the 45 or the grief, or 425 energies there, which could be the Emperor and the Hierophant, and someone changing from the Hierophant or the Emperor, which is about controlling power in business, perhaps in politics as well, and then going into the Hierophant energy of a more spiritual or religious organization, or coming together with that energy. There's a energy of the tower and the flash of lightning and the eaves, so that, the ends of the buildings that protect you, right? We leave a little bit of roofing over the edge so that there's some protection of us. So the eaves coming up there, but also the path of the niece, regarding the crazy madman and drunk. So maybe a niece that's a problem, causing conflict, sudden events or sudden changes, or trauma to the female sheep. This also could be a niece with hatred for the divine feminine, wanting to blind them, or causing them to lose their balance, or not seeing clearly because of blind rage, jealousy, all of those energies that were coming up, hostilities, which was coming up over and over again as the masculine needing to let go of this, like the last little bits of anger. The Sophia, the salt of the earth, the sulfur of the ethers, and the key show of power to the nth degree, grieving the tower energy of sudden events, sudden explosions, eruptions, epiphanies, and lightning strike. The eve of, then there was light, right? So we think of Ben Franklin as well, striking the tower with the lightning. And then there was one, we and us. The honey eaters, or the saps, right? The life essence here, life. The female sheep, right? The sheep shall inherit the earth, now believed to be extinct, right? So here is the rising of the divine feminine sheep, the twin flames, the starseeds, may have thought to have been extinct by the dark energies, and now they're rising and they can't believe what they're seeing. There's also the energy of a soap opera going on, but without the show of power, which is life, right? Life is a soap opera, but without the show of power of a TV show. The path of anger, regarding guilt and shame. It's the expression of guilt and shame, right? When someone doesn't want to feel shame and guilt, they get angry. The sudden life, the open-ended question, to be worth, have worthiness, to be worth of kisses and hugs, the ox, the OX, to wash, to feel like, to want to, that is life, to create and to make a ball, and with one-eyed monster, which made me think of my ex, which is funny, off-balanced, only seeing from one eye's perspective. Here, so we start out with the shadow upright, or the devil, but very much about the shadow web, or the grid, at 601, which is the lovers and the magician. Beneath the shadow is the page of swords upright. So we have the shadow here. Let's turn it that way a little bit more. So the shadow card's this top card, and then I go down a few, and we got the mini cards on top. So we have the page of swords upright, the 2 of wands reversed, the 9 of pentacles reversed, the lovers reversed, and the guidance card upright beneath the shadow. So the devil, the shadow, codependent energies and addictions, after a message leaving no options, powerless to break up or have no affection in a marriage, religion, establishment, or with a Taurus, with addiction, codependency, with dark shadows, or Capricorn temptation, the ball and chain, and frustration, not aroused or not inspired or not humored, with issues at work. And the Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help, either from the Queen of Cups or with the Queen of Cups, Divine Feminine or Pisces, or their world is complete with rest, meditation, taking breaks, and the 5D connection, or a message of powerlessness from Gemini reversed and Taurus upright, and Capricorn upright, or their breakup, or their codependency. Home released in a bold move to free self as the Emperor offers love. Perhaps the foolish old man bites the bullet and offers big love to Shadow or Capricorn, or gives Taurus, Capricorn, and Pisces or Divine Feminine their blessing. And that could be someone coming to ask for someone's blessing. Medical booties or feet wrapped, and that could be diabetic feet as well. Military and medical with snobbish tastes, bringing just the right bag and flower. The Emperor and loyal friend to join them, but the fool can't see where they're going. Or a family, and again, not seeing where they're going can just be the fool's energy, but also could be that someone has an issue with one eye, not seeing properly, or not opening one of their sides, the masculine or Divine Feminine. Or a family representative from an unhappy group is coming to butter up the Emperor for some new clothes, perhaps. Old sap, thinking they're going to get away with it, which can be their parent, their grandparent, their uncle, their boss, whatever it is. Or home released Cancer or Aries, and Aries. There could be two Aries there. Or 2 to 3 escaped. The blind fools with the car. And I was getting like the guys who escaped from the nursing home. And neither one of them can have a license because they can't see. And they're two old guys in a car escaping to offer love to the Shadow or to Capricorn. Separation, heartbreak, disappointment coming up here with the Queen of Pentacles, with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, dysfunction or loss. And the Knight of Wands reversed, falling short, leaving a big mess in their wake. Bridges burned, a trail left behind, or the dogs. Religious factors comes up, which is any kind of differences, not just religion, cultural, age, whatever the difference is. And beneath that was make the effort, that big love is worth the effort. But there's no big love at work, or there is one, but it's a third party. No romantic tie, or is, but it's a third party. No strength or courage, or Leo, kids and pets out of control, ending conflict of a losing battle, of unhappy family, or an ending of an emotional cycle of unhappiness. No more palm trees and muscle work, or showing off at the beach, or getting him to do whatever they want, with a flash of a boob, cleavage, or butt crack. No more tackling the bore, and here's that bore again, regarding the underground tunneling machines. No more tackling the bore to pull fangs, or strong-arm them into doing whatever the other one wants, and rubbing his nose in it on top of that, threatening to cut off your air supply, or take you to the dentist, or defanging or declawing the animals. No more drunk summers, or going for an alcohol run, or chasing tail, all uphill from here. And that could be an energy of aging as well. 634 is lovers and the 8 of Wands, a lot of energy back and forth. As perseverance comes up with the Emperor, number 4, and beneath that, the new beginnings of number 1. New beginnings and persevering. Knowing and keeping quiet to get their wish of a higher love and patience with third party and no peace, or bad influences and no peace. As a wounded warrior with the 10 of Cups family, or happy ending, being a slave to the family, or on their last leg, at your service, always at their beck and call. The frog in the weeds, or jumped from a plane, trying to feel again. And that's actually how I felt. I jumped out of the plane many, many years ago, in my 30s. I was supposed to go with someone I worked with who said they used to jump regularly. And then when we went to meet at 7 o'clock in the morning at the airfield, he got called in to work, so he couldn't be with me. I had to do it by myself. But it was so funny because I went into the hangar and I'm like, this is where all the good-looking men have gone. And there's all these guys sitting out there at 7 o'clock in the morning, stretching, getting ready for their flights. So there is that energy of jumping out of a plane here. So 639 is the Lovers and the 39 of the Knight of Cups. And emotionally fulfilled with the Shadow or Capricorn, receiving lover or love offer from the Knight of Wands reversed player from an unhappy family or emotionally unfulfilled but persevering here, per Holy Moses. The recent past here is the Four of Wands home. After holding on without option, keeping cards close to their chest, the Page of Swords stepping up or spreading the word, or the King of Wands messaging home or required to, right? Keeping tabs on someone. Calling, judgment, wake-up call or announcement, the clarion call, the dinner call, which came up this week about when I was growing up, everyone was playing outside, so the mother always had to yell outside to tell people to come home for dinner. Time to come home. The Knight of Pentacles offering help at the house with dependent or financial drains or the money pit. Needing affection, tender love and care, receiving the truth. And a dependent lover, perhaps, in a breakup, or a child who's not talking to the parent, not showing them any affection. Truth from the energetic exchange or expression of feelings with the Hierophant, religion, establishment, or Taurus, or marriage, or keeping constant tabs on them in a relationship, right? Expecting someone to constantly call whenever they do anything. They can't do anything without calling first. Or calling home to find out if a judgment came in or official mail. The Knight of Pentacles, or delivery to home of sovereign reversed or dependent, or financial drains. Perhaps to cheer up a child who just broke up, finding out the truth about somebody. And this could be someone also waiting for something to come in the mail, that's true. I sent something to my daughter she hasn't received yet for her birthday. So the foundation here is the Knight of Cups, offer of love, grieving an energetic exchange with implementing a plan at the same time to move forward. Hierophant, religion, establishment, marriage, or Taurus, fully exposed and stuck in their head without peace, with the King of Pentacles reversed, which can be someone who's ungrounded or lost money and status, or someone who's all about money and greedy. Or marriage with children, married with children, no peaceful place for the King of Pentacles reversed, or due to the King of Pentacles reversed. It depends on your perspective. Is it his perspective or your perspective? The central energy is the Five of Cups upright and the dependent sovereign reversed, grieving loss, regret, guilt, and shame, and the past not letting go, unable to look up at the Two of Cups, feeling powerless in an offer of a new life, to the Knight of Swords, third party, defensive to juggling and cheating on the Empress, or stealing from her, or getting the dirt on her behind her back, or using information from her act. The challenge being the Tower reversed, avoiding sudden changes or the aftermath mess. The Two of Cups, the third party, under the radar, the star, the healer, the dreams coming true. The Knight of Cups offering love and receiving bigger love in return. The King of Cups is reversed, knew and didn't tell. The Hermit reversed, living in the past or coming out about it now. At 7:05, the Chariot and the Hierophant. Standing up for self and unwanted advances or wanted advances. No fantasy here with the family, business, or community, or the world. Just dysfunction and loss, not putting it out there. To fallen angel or impatient person, or losing patience under the radar, feeling a failure, seeking attention, or receiving negative attention from the past. Knowing, pleading ignorance is bliss. The devil, the horny devil, with a mark on their head, and Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help or missed opportunity, but the worst is now over, and working to align and clean up the aftermath. And that could be after birth as well. Now, in the present moment, crowning is the Two of Cups, upright, and justice in the connection. Synchronicities in heaven in their eyes, with epiphanies and announcements of happily ever after. Needing courage to hang out and see new perspectives, grieving the flame. Tossed back in the fountain, right? Grieving the flame that was tossed back in the fountain to burn out on their own at 7:13, which is the Chariot and the Death card of transformation. The worst over of bleeding out without reunion. The Two of Cups working with the Queen of Wands reversed in a bold move to end an emotional cycle of unhappiness and break up with the wounded warrior in the aftermath of the truth presented. No reunion and walking away, with the Knight of Swords cracking the whip with the truth at home And Sagittarius on the swing by herself, having a drink or making a potion with attitude and a hook or a kick. The Truth releasing, the King of Swords, to send a message of love or release it. Or the Truth was released with the Page of Cups to be love, and the Knight of Swords, or the King of Swords, to purge it out. So that for the Page of Cups child to be love, or the message of love, and the King of Swords to then purge it out. Sagittarius reversed and Capricorn of the Devil, temptation, is with the Page of Pentacles reversed, or not manifesting, though the worst is over, and getting their ducks in a row after the sudden event or epiphany, or something about the southeast here. Or the Tasmanian Devil was here, and that's why there's a mess. So soon here is the Seven of Wands upright, rising from the ashes, the fallen angel to offer big love now that the worst is over, recovering from temptation, or Capricorn waving, with the High Priestess or Secret hanging out, but unhappy alone at 723, the Chariot and the King of Wands. The twin flames are ascending, and the world is complete, coming full circle in a losing battle to dump emotional attachments in a twist of fate. The Queen of Swords talking about sharing the load or burden in the never-ending story with the Emperor and their insecurities, and holding on, grounding and saving. Pisces upright, Libra reversed, Scorpio reversed, and Aries upright, Gemini or Virgo reversed here as well. Calling in your soulmate, it is safe to love. And true love, this is romance of a lifetime. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Hermit reflecting, but it's the Hermit reversed. Dissatisfied, starting over, and frustrated without options. And the block for the twins being the Knight of Swords, passing 5D messages, the inner child to the other inner child, and walking away in secret. Follow your dreams comes up, but even more so, creativity and intuition. Separation and three-way situation with the Two of Cups connection and the Queen of Cups upright, freeing themselves at night, or did at the full moon, having a drink or burdened, climbing the stairs from the basement, released from the Page of Cups, while the King of Swords is not sleeping well. So that could be a Queen of Cups with a child, a newborn, and the King of Swords has volunteered to babysit for them. I was getting the energy, too, of someone like a child or a young adult who has a baby at home and they're living with their parents. And now they've agreed to give them one night a week where they can go out and they'll babysit so that they can go out and drink with their friends or whatever they want to do. Or a daughter with baby with night, like I said, off to have a drink in a twist of fate, or Libra reversed, or no longer, I was just getting Long Island medium, or low, I was actually getting Long Island Lolita. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But no longer an island to themselves, or starting over now, with the Queen of Swords upright and the Queen of Wands reversed, standing up for themselves, or able to care for themselves now, right? So a parent no longer burdened by their grown children. The Six of Cups standing up to Scorpio, or after death, and offering their time, money, and effort to the Knight of Swords, while the King of Pentacles reversed and the King of Swords upright take care of the Page of Cups, which definitely could be two men taking care of a baby, right? Is that 2 or 3 men and a baby? Or they all go with them for support. So it's also could be a child has to go do something they don't really want to do or they're scared to do. So it's like the other sibling and 2 men come along for support. Or the Page of Cups could have one of 2 men as their father, but which one? So that could be a paternity issue at 736, which is the Chariot and the 10 of Wands, the Atlas energy, the weight of the world upon your shoulders. The Shadow Web at home with the 10 of Cups upright, the Knight of Cups offering love or condolences to the 2 of Cups. So a couple or partners. The challenge being the messy aftermath of sudden events and or epiphanies in an ascending world, rising and reflecting within the Knight of Swords, passing the 5D word to the Queen of Cups, dark to light, struggling in the twist, the shift, and the starting over with the Queen of Swords upright and the Queen of Wands reversed, inquisition. So that was the read there. I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you guys now. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn for the twins today? It's 4:02 on the clock, which is the Emperor and the High Priestess. It's also very similar to, my son was born at 420 in room 402 or 420. I can't remember which it was, but let's see what's coming up for you guys here. It's 39, 49, and 50 here, which is the Knight of Cups and the Get Your Wish card and the Emotional Fulfillment card. So that's really nice. We have Victory with the 28, the Twin Flames, choosing a new path and finding peace. And then here's the Sun. Look, that looks like a nice vacation, doesn't it? Right, so the One of the Magician, Magician embodiment, manifesting a vacation or your time in the sun, perhaps going swimming or to the ocean perhaps, or perhaps just dreaming in your coffee cup, but finding meditation and peacefulness in your day. And there we have the Happy Family. Now, the Ten of Cups was reversed in this read, so I don't know if the family's happy. This may actually be time away by yourself, away from the family, because it's coming up more like this. And even the Sun was reversed, so it's in that need of this, but this is definitely coming up for the masculine a lot, where they're finding meditation time or peace away by themselves, right? Getting alone time. And like I said, that could be a young mom or a teen mom who's getting a night off from their child if they're living with their parents. And again, the Door to Romance coming up here with the 33 of the Christ vibration, and Easter coming up on 4/4. And here's the 30 of the home and the union and the anxiety of leaving the house. And the two butterflies leading them out to transform. In the spring, the garden and the gate, like don't lose that opportunity of, wagging your tail in the spring, getting started on something, doing something that you'd really like to do. What is the key to your heart? And letting go of your attachments. If you're attached to the safety of your home, then dare yourself to go out of your home. Whatever your fear is, it's like daring yourself to get past that. Don't go ahead and do it. Take off the mask. Let go of your attachments. 5 is the expansion, the change, the freedom. And the foundation here, again, is bringing outside inside. So you see the outside on both sides. Open your windows and doors and purify and clean. And it's just not about being anal or anything like that. It's not. It's about just making things the way you want them, get a fresh perspective, open your doors and windows, clean up your mind and your soul and your home, and to maybe just want to rearrange it a little bit. Let go of your anxieties, the 18 of the full moon. Some people like to clean when they get those feelings because it makes them feel better. But knowing that you're okay, allow yourself to feel all of your feelings. Just let it go through you. Send love to whatever's uncomfortable in your body. Use your intention to send your body love. That's why it's telling you there's something wrong there. It's saying, focus on me, give me love, just like your children would. Your body does the same thing when your knee hurts. It's asking you to put your intention there. When you are walking or running and something starts to hurt, it's saying, please stop and focus your attention on there for a minute. And then it may go away. But if you keep ignoring it, it's going to get injured, and that's when you run into more problems. So let's see what the journey of love has to say for you guys. There's definitely a lot of young girl type of energy in the cards that just came out. Like young girls taking the mask off, being their true authentic selves, even if other people don't like it. That's too bad. You be you, you do you. And then you'll find the people who resonate with you. All right, so here's from the Journey of Love. Take a deep breath, you guys. What is our takeaway? The mother prays. There's that dark mother who bites your head off. The praying mantis, the 15 of the shadow side of the mother, the dark side. Watch out for the mothers biting your head off. But it's in the colors of the higher realms, right? We have the blues and pinks and purples of the higher chakra system. And it can represent also, the mother who's praying for you. And to drop into your heart with the 68, the Page of Pentacles. Right? This represents the heart and the high heart of the magenta color. And this having to do with all the upper chakra system. And then we have the Devil and the Page of Pentacles. So think of that as a mother and child energy. The child is a really good student. And the mother, who's very difficult to please. And then we have the 14 of the patient angels of being light as a feather, keeping it simple. And when you need to fall, allowing yourself to do so. But if you keep it light, then the fall will be light as well. It won't be so hard to deal with. And then you can just get back up again and learn from your mistake. It's as simple as that. The 61 of the liar, cheater, thief card, but it's really a card of inherent risk. Risking loving yourself. She loves. The bottom of the deck here is a very mustardy and gray card, knowing without knowing. But I love that it's showing this because it's the contrast. Even though this may not be your favorite color and this may not be your favorite color, the contrast between them makes something very beautiful, actually. And it looks like someone, carrying stuff on their shoulders, like natives would do to carry water to the well or from the well, that kind of energy coming up here. It's a very flat 2D energy, knowing without knowing, the 41 of the Ace of Cups. Self-love, spiritual love, new love. And beneath it is the blood dance of being human, right? The blood rushing through the heart, and the 42 of being the Two of Cups. The heart getting excited when it sees another, right? She's by herself. So it's very 2D until she sees somebody else and it's like, oh, there's someone to talk to, or there's someone to connect with, right? We have the 41 and the 42, the self-love, and then the love for someone else, love for your higher self. Okay, and then one more card wanted to be seen that came out, which was the 64 of the sensual awakening, and the 64 is the ultimate pain, the 10 of swords, but when the swords fall out, becomes the bliss. And that is also where addiction comes from, right? Where you get addicted to releasing the pain. Well, that's what the drugs do, right? They release the pain, and there's that bliss that comes from that. But this is what you want, is the natural bliss. There's nothing wrong with natural bliss. Okay. So these are the cards. They're all very different. They came out today, but they're all pretty smooth energies. I don't see choppy energies here. They're just different colors, right? This is the mother who's doing what she thinks is for your highest good, but that doesn't mean it is. She could bite your head off. Maybe she's biting your head off because she thinks it's for your safety or for your highest good. But it's also coming out of the shadow side of the mother, right? Because the light side of the mother would be patient and loving. And then we have the child that's a really good student of the physical heart and the high heart combined, very much in their hearts, wanting to please their mother. And then the patience between them, and being light as of a feather and trying to keep everything light, so when you do fall, it won't be such a big deal. And then risking loving yourself first. And there's much, more confidence of the yellows and heart green colors there, and then kind of blending all of the colors together in a swirl of sensual awakening, and really understanding your own sensuality and the love for yourself, right? That loving all of yourself, the parts that make mistakes and the part that you feel is perfect about you, right? You're never perfect all around, and that's okay. That's the fun about being human, not to take everything so seriously, to keep it light. So we're going to read the Mother Praise. So let's see what that says again, which is also the devil energy. And it says you're being watched over. Many beings are aware of your existence. They know that your heart and soul are pure, even when you doubt it at times, because after all, you are a divine being masquerading as a decidedly fascinating mixture of light and darkness. Sometimes you may not feel so pure, and that's okay. The Mother prays for you, not because you're about to do something ridiculous, as you might come to harm, but that you might not do something ridiculous and avoid living your full potential. She wraps you in waves of love, light, and consciousness, that you may feel brave enough to live your life and not hold back from pursuing what is within your heart, or really letting it pursue you and giving in to its seduction. The Mother prays, so fear not and just live your life. This oracle brings you guidance. Ask for help from the Divine Mother, who loves you unconditionally. Ask each day. She wants to help you, and you have to ask for that help to empower her to do so. You have her great blessing. Okay, the poem reads, I love you, holding your breath in my kiss, your heartbeat in my arms. Driving home, I could see you sitting beside me, not with my eyes, but I knew you were there, your beautiful legs crossed and your coat open and inviting. The soft scent of you brings a smile to my lips and to my heart, because I know you are still here. Right? The mother always knows. So where are we here? I think I'm going to read you one more. The drop into your heart. Now this is coming from the younger person, the perfect student's perspective, right? The perpetual student of the 68. 68. Drop into your heart. There is a place of light within that no darkness can touch. It cannot be shamed. It can never be made impure. It is never lost or darkened or unavailable to us. Though we may forget at times or sometimes, sitting in a darkened room and not realizing that we can stand up and walk into the light so close to us, just on the other side of the doorway to the heart. Whatever may arise, great joy, great sorrow, drop into your heart and offer it to the divine, gently bowing your forehead to your hands in prayer. Connect mind and heart. Let yourself have some peace. It wants you, you know. This oracle brings you an offering. The divine would like you to offer whatever is bringing your heart trouble, and of course, joy. The divine would like to receive this from you as a gift, that it may return to you some special blessing. Place your hands at your heart, and in genuine reflection, perhaps you may choose to offer your heart burden or light now. Either will be joyfully received by the divine, and you shall be graced with a gift in return. And that was coming up in the read, too, about a gift being granted here as we go into Easter. And the poem simply reads, longing, the dance to move beyond the feeling that draws me forward to a place born within that calls my soul to feel complete. So make sure you drink your water so you can connect really well. Make sure you get your sleep so you have the best perspective possible. Make sure to get some joy and laugh in your day, and make sure to get outside and ground yourself in nature. Hug a tree if you need to, or just go talk to the flowers. But as always, take a deep breath and let go. Everything is well in every moment, and rise and be loved. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Have an amazing day. Bye.